really the entire first and second half. Flip throw-in from Leah Fortune. She's well known for that. Burkhold gets ahead to it, but it's out of bounds. Not quite Olay time yet for the Texas Longhorns. 7 minutes to go, just a bit over. 1-0, they lead off Donyak's header, but that was all the way back in the 18th minute. We've had 2 red cards. First, Allie Harrison for USC back in the 40th minute, right before halftime. Shelby Church, the freshman goalkeeper, really put to her first test of the season from the PK spot. She actually blocked it, moving to her left off of Erica Campanelli's foot. And then Sophie Campisi received a yellow card in the 58th minute. And then pretty much right on the heels, got her red card after a double yellow in the 64th. Late challenge from Altamirano, but she wins out. USC looking for the switch. It's Garcia here on the near side. Fortune all by her lonesome. Can't get past Ojai. This one sneaks through, and it was actually headed out of bounds. It looked like by Gabby Zarnagar. Davila didn't get a touch to it, but to the naked eye, that might have looked like a goal-scoring opportunity for USC.
Now, this is a time when you got to make good decisions on goal. We're getting into that kind of 5-minute range where if 2 of you bite on a player, that means one player's open. So you've got to communicate with each other. Just make sure you're matched up 1v1 and stay touch tight. Touch tight means you can grab them if you need to.
Butcher with the corner. Alexa Gall troubled in the back, and the referee calls for the foul. I want to make sure, because I don't want to prematurely say a goal was scored by USC, but it does look like her progress was impeded by 3 USC players who were really huddled around her looking for that stick-in.
You got to be careful. If you're going to stand in front of the goalie, you got to get out of the way. If she's coming out for the ball, you're going to get called for a foul. The refs are very good about protecting the goalie and making sure that there's nothing in front of them that could get them hurt. So good call by the referee, and definitely don't want an own goal to tie this game up. That would be a heartbreaker for Texas. But now we're getting into that game management. At the last 5 minutes, what do we do? How can we drain this clock out and win this game? Are we going to play into the corners? Are we going to dump it? Are we going to try and pass it around a little bit? What do we do here? So, again, very early experience for Texas to look at, okay, now we got to preserve a win. What do we do to come away with a victory here?
Donyak comes back onto the field for Zarnagar into the midfield. The Texas Longhorns need that big defensive presence, big physical presence as well as we move into the back 4.5 minutes of this game. Shot on target. Alexa Gall gets her fingertips to it with a nice diving save. Excellent movement from the sophomore goalkeeper. She does it yet again, and that's why she's up for some of these top awards of the 2010 season.
She hasn't been tested a whole lot this year, and these are some great shots USC's putting up now, again from distance. And remember, Gall's not that tall. She's 5'7", but she just does a great job moving her feet really quickly, laying out, and then just tipping it enough to get it away from goal. So great reflexes from Alexa Gall.
Butcher with the corner. Peterson's there with the header. Ojai sends it right back in. And Gall's off her line. And it looks like USC has tied it up. The referee on the far side of the field has signaled that it was a goal. Fortune's complaining to the official. The coach is coming out to make sure that her teammate is okay. It looks like Sandoval, who was coming in, is going to hobble off of the field, her right knee giving her trouble. At least from our point of view, we hope that it's nothing serious. We'll actually get word to you on who scored that goal when we receive it, because everything happened so quickly. But USC has tied it up 1-1. It was Sandoval who scored that goal, Jessica, and I guess for the few minutes that she came in on this last 4 minutes of the second half, she salvaged USC's game and tied it up at 1 apiece.
Well, that's why they want to use her as much as they can, even though she's really struggling. And you saw her practically collapse when she was coming off the field with her knee. And it's just really sad. But the few minutes she's on, she's dangerous. And now she's got their only 2 goals this year for USC.
Well, they're not done yet, pushing on to maybe win this game in late time. And it looks like Fryer is kicking that just a bit longer than she needed to, although they're all a bunch of ball people around to give Alexa Gall that needed opportunity the Longhorns have to use in these last 2.5 minutes. Nicholson in the corner. Gall boots it downfield. How much does that missed penalty now look in the hindsight of things from Erica Campanelli? Offside flag raised here against USC. Texas has been behind pretty much this entire second half, and it wasn't just when Campisi was sent off with that red card.
No, they've been back on their heels, and now if you look at the shot totals, it's 12 for USC versus only those 5 Texas had in the first half. So they really didn't have any shots, much offense at all in the second half. So I think USC deserves to be tied at this moment. And, Texas just seemed to run out of gas and didn't really have a response to all the pressure they received in the second half. But it is very frustrating, obviously, in the last 5 minutes to give that up. And you're right. That Campanelli PK was big time. If she had made that, it would have been a totally different game. So, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Lots of missed opportunities for Texas.
This one sails through the face of the goal and out of bounds. I think USC now knows that they could probably play for this tie and maybe even get the go-ahead goal here in the last minute. But the Longhorns look like they've given a present to USC in the final 10 minutes of this game. The score tied at 1 apiece. The header off the corner from Sandoval. USC has brought it back here in the late stages, but Texas is not done yet. Although it looks like they'll be called back just briefly. Fortune in an offside position. The referee wants it called back to be done again because he didn't like the speed at which USC took that. Maybe the ball wasn't quite positioned. Jessica, we reached 30 seconds to go in this game. It appears to see that Texas and USC will finish at 1 apiece, but maybe it'll be left to the imagination of what Texas could have had if they would have capitalized on some of those chances, especially the PK opportunity from Erica Campanelli.
Right, and I think they've got to come away again with a positive attitude about this. It was a learning experience. It was a great learning experience. They played really well in the first half, not as well in the second half. So they need consistency. Can they play for 90 minutes? Obviously, ending at 1-1 is disappointing when you're up the entire game practically by a goal. But, again, they can't be down and sulk for the next week. They've got to let it go. They have the rest of their season and just learn from this experience.
Texas and USC tied after full time. It's 1-1. The Texas Longhorns allowed a late goal here in the final stages. Sandoval, responsible for the goal at TCU as well, will be responsible for the game-tying goal here at Mike A. Myers Stadium.